You've arrived at the Texas to Tennessee podcast, your home for your favorite independent artists and a couple of guys you've never heard of.
Who?
It was Texas, it was Tennessee. It was what I had coming to me. You were unlike anything.
What's up?
Where's that?
Sorry, Toby was getting really feisty on that intro there.
Yeah, he liked it.
We're off to a great start.
He's gone.
This is perfect.
He's
Well,
gonna be
welcome.
getting paid if he's on
I know.
screen
Is he a
anymore than
paid
that.
actor? Kobe the paid actor. Oh, I love it. Well, welcome, guys. We have the Comancheros here with us. We're also we're live on all the platforms, and there's a chat going on here, so I'll keep that open too. I'm just gonna say hello out there. So
we
if
see that
anybody
on
has
our
any
end?
questions, they can chime in. But welcome, we have the Comancheros on the Texas to Tennessee podcast today. I'm super pumped. How are you guys doing?
Doing really good.
Yeah, doing great.
Happy to see you.
Yeah, I know. Did you I think the weirdest thing was Michael and I were talking, and it's 6 years exactly from when we all met.
Pretty
And
strange.
somewhere in North Carolina
Was it
back in
Wilmington?
the day. Yeah, it sounds
Is that a
right.
coast? Is that a coast city?
I remember you bringing your sword on the beach
Hell yeah.
as
And my
a
coverall.
highlight, as
'Cause
a
it was cold.
highlight of that time.
Yeah, it feels like we've known each other longer than that,
Yeah.
but it doesn't. It feels crazy that was 6 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but that was a wild show because it was like the Fly Trap Brewery,
Yeah. Well, that
and
does explain the terrariums now that I think about it.
it was like I didn't really know what I was booking, but we were going out to record at Echo Mountain.
Yes.
Yeah. We were doing a couple tracks at Echo Mountain, and it was like, well, if we're driving all the way out to North Carolina, we got to do some shows. So I booked that show. So we drove like 18 hours, and then we get there, and I'm like, I did not do my homework.
Was it the only one we played? We just did one show?
No,
Or?
we did like a couple more on the way back.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure we just went straight out to that one. And it was like they had a little corner where bands could play, and it was very clear that it was like, oh, they thought we were going to be like an acoustic folk duo, and we thought they might actually have a bit of a stage. Misunderstanding went both ways. They were very gracious, but they had dogs coming through, which did not like the sound check. But it was a weird show too, because first day we met you,
Yeah.
which was not weird, just coincidental with the timing right now.
Yeah.
We also, the first time we ever met Sean and Carla Bass, who now run Bird's Nest.
Yeah.
Great folks. And also, just so happened, that random girl from my chemistry college class that I had not seen since, who was in the Army, and was like, oh, hey, that kid from my college chemistry class is coming to town. And like, she brought like 2 of her Army buddies, and that was, and haven't seen her since.
Perfect.
So that was
Yes. That was
wild.
a highlight for me. That was the first time I met you guys, but I remember being like, you guys, I think it was, I don't even remember exactly how it all went down, but it was like, hey, we could use an opener if you want to be cool. And I was like, all right, let's go. And I was just getting started, and you guys
Did you
really
live there at that
No, I
point?
lived like 2 hours away in Raleigh.
Okay.
But that was the closest. I was a fan, I was a fangirl, and that was the closest that you guys were gonna be. So I was like, yeah, that's worth the trip. Let's go. And I remember getting there too and being like, this is a strange place for a show.
Have you been back?
This tiny brewery. No, I don't think I have. Actually, I think I actually have, but not for a show. We went back to Wilmington. I remember being like, this is where I really thought those walls were going to disintegrate when the Comancheros were playing in here. They were not prepared at all. I remember like watching the bartender's face as Bradley jumped on the bar. And they were not, it's not like they were not happy. They were just like, what the fuck is going on?
Surprise.
Surprise! It's rock
Yeah.
and roll. And, like, you could leave the building and still hear the music perfectly clear. Like, there was a rock and roll
Sure.
block. The whole area was definitely
It's,
engulfed in your music.
it was good. It was good for him, I think. You know, it seemed like a pretty well-to-do neighborhood, you know,
Yeah.
and it was like, all right,
It was kind of swanky.
shake them up a little bit, you know,
Yeah, you gotta keep them on their toes.
keep them on their Birkenstocked toes a little bit.
Crunchy little toes.
Did you go to any of the bars with us that were around the studio?
No.
Because that was a couple hours. So from Wilmington, Raleigh area, where is Asheville? That's still like west several hours, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. We had some good times around those bars. That would have been.
They
What
were
was your favorite that you remember?
The Johnny Depp guy bar. Remember he like had a little Johnny Depp outfit on, and the bar was like a concrete dungeon, but then there was like old Halloween ornaments everywhere.
And we had to become members.
Yeah, which that was actually every bar, but
Yeah.
I do remember it there the most. But I just remember that how irritated I was with how everybody brings their dogs to the bar in Asheville, and then their owners get drunk and like get arguing, and then all the dogs fight, and every night there was a big dog fight in every bar. And I'm like, dude, what? This isn't even fun at all. Why would you want your dog? Why would you do this? Like you'd think
Checks out.
everybody in Asheville,
That's very on brand for Asheville.
yeah, like you'd think everybody there would have one time they brought their dog and it got in a fight and they'd never do it again. But
It's a really weird, like, bringing your little miniature pinscher to the bar is like, but then it gets in a fight. It's like, it's a very like white collar meets redneck fusion.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
perfect.
rednecks wouldn't even do that.
Rednecks know better.
They don't bring dogs to the bar, not inside.
Your dogs are waiting in the truck.
They're waiting in the truck and they're barking at each other from across the parking lot. Like,
And they're fine with it.
and it was only ever fine if there was
Rednecks
only
have
one
good
dog in the
dogs.
bar. As soon as somebody else showed up, man, dog fight every time.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that perfectly describes Asheville right there in a nutshell, guys. They should put you on the tourism.
I'll be like, over here is another bar with too many dogs in it. To your left.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the whole thing. And here's
How come
some
they don't have
art,
cat bars, huh?
various quality art.
I'd go to a cat bar.
I would too.
I would go.
Yeah.
Yeah, cat bar sounds way better.
Would you take Toby?
Hell yeah.
Where'd he go?
He get drunk as hell.
I don't know.
I think he's downstairs eating. That's what he does most of the time when he's not on
Full life, yeah.
screen. He just eats. He sleeps. He'll be back. He'll make another round up here, I'm sure.
Yeah, I love it. I got to meet Toby. He's the best.
He's a really good man. He's
Yeah,
solid
so
guy.
guys, I'm super excited. I'm really excited to have you guys on here. As you guys can tell, we have some history here. We have for sure been down a path or two because we met that time in North Carolina. You guys blew the roof off of that tiny brewery, and then we've kind of just stayed in
Okay.
touch ever since then, really, and how
Yeah.
like thrown each other bones all over the place and given advice and
Yeah,
all kinds of
countless
stuff.
shows we've played together at this point too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
we played a
I
bunch of
can't-
shows. I have
I
your
mean, and
trailer.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then
you let us stay at your house when we played in Nashville.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I feel like ever since
you let me
moved to
stay at your
Nashville-
house when we were in Missouri.
Yeah. Yeah.
and I feel like ever since you've been in Nashville, it's like we always seem to pass by or play Nashville. You know, it's a lot closer. And
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
weird to
it's
think
good.
of you
It's
not
kinda
living
nice.
in Nashville now.
yeah,
I know it's only temporary. I'll be back there soon.
Are you not there now?
No, I'm in New York right now.
You're in New
What?
York. What are you doing
Yeah,
there?
your trailer's buried in snow right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Ah,
oh geez,
what are you doing in New York?
I'm just here. I'm here helping family. They're moving south, so I'm just
Nice.
doing the heavy lifting and fixing
Well, that's
stuff.
cool.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's nice that you brought the trailer.
yeah. It's got
You
my
gone
whole
to
life
any,
in it. That's where my life is.
You gone to any checked out any venues or anything, or tried to make any meet anybody up there?
Yeah, I played a couple shows, like some dive bars, which are kind of my favorite. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love a bar you can just come in and do whatever you want. There's no
Yeah.
rules. They don't care. You don't care. You don't care if they care. You know,
Yeah.
that's my favorite.
They don't have like terrariums of fungus or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Yeah, you
Made
know,
of fragile glass.
I never really thought about it, but there are some kind of like, which that's not Midwestern, but there's kind of some uppity Midwestern dives.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Well, I feel like there's the dive that just is a dive because that's what it is. And then there's the
A
dive that's
purposeful
like,
dive.
yeah.
that's like, oh,
The
let's be a
unintentional
dive
dive.
bar. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, the
Kinda-
ones that really thought they were doing something, but it's a dive. Yeah, there's those too. Like, are you a dive on purpose or can't tell?
You know, we have a bar here in town in Columbia called Dive Bar.
Ooh,
And it's a nice
Yeah, it's just nice.
yeah.
not a dive.
It's the floors are a little too clean.
It's a nice establishment. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still it's also it doesn't treat itself like it's this like artsy, oh, it's an artsy dive. It's like it's not pretentious.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, we just mop the floors, and it's like, oh, that's nice, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, they used to do a thing when they had shows out there. They put this stage in the middle of a sand pit, so it was like Tatooine out there, and anybody trying to get close would just be like doing the sand walk to get over to you. Like.
Can you do your Tusken Raider?
Oh! They actually covered it all up. That wasn't the right noise. I just made a really obnoxious noise, but
It's perfect.
they've paved it now, so
Oh,
they got a real.
yeah. So now it'll be really hot in the summertime. Perfect.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
I actually went and saw Travis Foyt's played there on Christmas Eve a year or two ago, and my wife and I were just kind of snowed in town. But it was like you could get around town, but you couldn't leave town.
Yeah.
And so we went, and I spent my whole drinking budget on like the nicest whiskey I've ever bought outside of a bottle and
A dive bar?
a dive bar. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't remember what it was, but it was good. And we watched Travis and Chad play.
They carry one of my favorite. I don't know if you've ever had one of these, Steph. You probably really like them. They always had them up in Minnesota, but a Stiegel Rattler. You ever had one of those?
No, it sounds interesting though.
Yeah, it's like you ever had one of those it's like San Pellegrinos?
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like that but alcoholic.
Let's go.
Dude, really good. Really good.
You have my interest.
Yeah.
You know what they have in Nashville that I've never seen before in my life? You know Welch's grape juice? Like
Oh.
the true Welch's? They have
Yep.
those in a can with alcohol in them. I think it's vodka. Like a can
Oh.
of Welch's grape juice
I don't
with
think I've ever
vodka in it, and they're amazing. It just tastes like Welch's.
It's like fancy grape drink.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
It's
Is
on
it for the
tap.
rappers?
I think so.
Or the Catholics.
You just add your own NyQuil when you get home to it?
Yeah.
You
I
can't
think that's
package it with
right.
NyQuil in the can, so
Mhm.
But it's always when you go to a store and they sell like ping pong balls in the alcohol section, and it's like, I'm not telling you what to do with it, but in case you need ping pong balls,
yeah, the NyQuil is just next to the
The NyQuil is just stocked.
next to the Welch's vodka drink.
just in case you need both. Coincidentally.
Product placement.
Yeah.
Perfect. Speaking of product placement, guys, I got your nobody can see it, but I got your Heavy and Western shirt on.
Nice.
I had to wear it for the gang over here. It's terrible product
it's a good shirt.
placement. We're not doing a good job here. It's 100% not showing at all, but it's
That's
the thought
okay.
that counts.
Nicole's got a Heavy Western hat on, so that's cool.
Yeah, there you go. You guys are
Surprised we don't
Oh.
have more in the background that we sell, but
We got Toby's Christmas cowboy hat, but he wouldn't wear it.
he didn't even wear it one time.
He was not happy.
Ungrateful.
Grateful.
ungrateful.
Grateful little loaf.
I love it. Well, guys, I'm dying to know What you guys, it has been, even though we've kept in touch, it has been a minute since I've gotten kind of a rundown on what you're cooking. So do you guys have, like, what's your plans for 2026? Are you kind of chilling? Are you writing? Are you touring? Are you doing a bunch of stuff? What's on the docket for this year? Because we're only in February. It's like still kind of the beginning of the year right now.
Well, Toby's got his bit to
Get him up here.
say,
Get the
but when
You want to know what I'm doing, huh?
when you said that you were going to do this, I figured I better take notes. So
Yeah.
I grabbed Tanner's empty bubbly,
Perfect.
and I've got our notes here. But so
Toby.
yeah. Oh,
Oh,
what a good boy.
put his hat on.
Don't try the string. He'll totally flip out. Just put it on there. We'll be lucky you just have to sit on his head for a second.
Perfect.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
he's
Clip
so
it.
happy. Look, oh,
It's
we've
a
ruined
famous
his
fact
life.
not.
Does he have a therapist?
No, he needs one though. Oh,
Had to get a picture of that. My golly, he's just
Get him.
that's
oh.
the nicest he's ever
Just
acted
would
in his
you
cowboy
look at
hats.
him?
He never wears his cowboy hats, and I get him for him.
No, that's fantastic.
Anyway, this is what we're doing this year.
So we have kind of been just actually the first thing of the year that we've been trying to do is just actually branch more out back into the streaming side of things, doing live streams every Tuesday. So it's Monday, right? So
It is.
so tomorrow,
So tomorrow.
8 p.m. Central Time.
We're doing some fun stuff. We've been like writing songs with the chat,
Yeah.
stuff like that. That's been kind of fun.
Yeah, telling stories. Tanner's got a bunch of live video and stuff that we took when we were in Europe, and I think that
Nice.
was last spring. So he kind of clipped some stuff out that had never been released and played it on stream. And but the songwriting things have been really fun. Tanner will
Yeah?
kind of come up with a melody, and then we'll just ask people like, are we doing a fast song, slow song, sad song, happy song? Last one we wrote was about trying to take a crap in a truck stop. And
Perfect.
man, if you got an hour and a half sometime and you want to just scroll through the chat as that was going on, they're all, passed, but the comments on that were just hilarious.
Really
Bet.
good.
So it was
You
fun.
guys are
And
probably the experts on that. You are touring motherfuckers for
we
sure.
had a lot of firsthand experience to draw from.
Yeah.
And but it was good. And so we actually, Tanner went, the first time we did it about the time we went down to Carl's country in Prattville, Alabama. And
Did you ever go there, Steph?
What is it, Prattsville?
Didn't we go there together? I feel like you were there with us once.
Prattville, it's kind of just outside of one of the big cities, but I can't remember what big city it is because we never go there. We just
It's the one in the trailer park.
This is not ringing a bell.
Yeah,
No,
you'd probably remember that.
I'm not sure.
Also,
you did.
one for the roads in the comments.
Oh,
If you're-
dude,
Hey,
those dudes
like
rule.
my boys.
But we went down there. It was like the second or third time we'd been down there, and the sound guy actually went to go buy illicit substances from somebody in a car, and they grabbed his money and drove off. And so he got in his truck and just took off.
but first was drugged down the road because he was holding on to the car. So
Yeah. And then insisted that, I was trying to buy shoes.
yeah, when he called the cops on himself, basically, he insisted he was just trying to buy a pair of kicks.
And then he went to go track the guy down and was not there for the show.
Yeah. They had to call the owner, I think, in to come run the sound.
Yeah, it was. So we wrote a song about that, and then Tanner did a video of that. So there's like the hour and a half of us writing that with the chat.
I love it.
And then we released another video of just Tanner singing that song. So it was a lot of fun.
So live streaming. Dawn says
Was Dawn
outside
here?
Montgomery, Alabama. Does that sound right?
Yeah. Dawn is literally there every single time.
Dawn was one of the biggest writers in that song we did last week.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so she knows. Yeah, they were
I
great.
love it.
But yeah,
Oh,
it's
so
been
that
fun.
sounds fun. So Tuesdays you can catch the Comancheros. I'm just breaking into online stuff too, so it's pretty cool to hear you guys are you guys always have been pretty good at all that stuff too, and coming up with creative ideas.
I don't know if I'd say that, but
Tanner's the online guy. But we're going to be branching out into having guests in March. And I feel like a fool because I don't remember what date we signed you up for.
It's the end of March. I want to say 24, 20 something.
Let me check my
Whichever one's
yeah.
after St. Patrick's Day, that next one.
Yeah, 24. I think did we even like talk about what we were going to ask you about?
Nope.
Oh,
Well, yeah,
cool.
actually you did.
I
You
did?
gave me you gave me a little seed.
Okay, cuz I think Tanner's been really wanting to
I just think it'd be fun.
talk to you about AI.
Yeah, I think we should
Okay.
we should definitely go down
Okay.
go
That'd
down
be
that
great.
rabbit hole sometime together.
I'll be the moderator being
Yeah.
like, "Fight." It'll be great.
Watch us
So
both be on the same team and we'll be like, "Wait, we got nothing to argue about, shit."
this is no fun.
Yeah, I'm not even really sure how I feel
Disagree
that yet,
with
honestly.
me.
I still need to think it through all the way, I think.
Yeah, but you know,
No,
you got
don't
a
do
month.
that.
But I do think it's something that probably is worth talking about. I mean, obviously it's gonna change how everything is and does and works. So
Yeah. So if anybody wants to see,
If anybody wants to argue with all of
yeah,
us,
just jump on the chat. So March 24th on the Comancheros YouTube channel.
it'd be fun to hypothesize like where it'll go.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
So being in Nashville, like how do you see AI sort of manifesting in the real world out there? Like do you in any way at all, or is it more like it just kind of lives on the internet in the area?
AI music? Well, let's not get too deep in this. Let's save all our juice for the
Sure,
24th.
sure.
But I would say I think right now everyone's kind of just figuring it out. I think the overall consensus across pretty much every creative brain is like they don't like it.
Sure.
So I think that's kind of like the overall theme there. But I think there's a lot more folks kind of being open minded to the tool, using it as a tool,
Sure.
which there's all kinds of lines and
Sure.
boundaries on that or differentiating
Mhm.
ideals.
It'd be fun to on the 24th hypothesize like what laws that we think could maybe save people.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think that's the weird part about it is it's so unregulated. Like most things have, yeah, like even sample law, you're kind of like, oh, well, you get a certain amount of time or something, but it's like AI is just like no restrictions.
And you don't have to be honest. There's not really a way to track some of it because you could just
Yeah,
ask
yeah,
ChatGPT to write me a song in the style of the Comancheros,
yeah. Like why,
and it
why,
will, and it'll give you lyrics and everything, and there's not really a way to track it.
like why doesn't AI have to show its cliff notes of where it took things? Like why
Yeah.
doesn't it have like a bibliography?
Yeah, it's
You
kind
know?
of relying on the user to tell the truth. Because I don't know if you guys have gone to, like, upload up music since the introduction of AI has, like, taken over, but it'll
Okay.
ask you, like, what percentage of this song, if any, was AI generated, and you have to be
Oh,
honest and say
interesting.
what like, because lyrics and melody are the 2 things that are technically songwriter credits. It's lyrics and melody are what you get credit for, so
And then does Chat GPT get songwriting credit on your
I don't know.
song?
I
So
think
that's
that's
a
the
weird thing
part
too.
that's
Is
not
like
figured out.
I don't know. That would be a fun talk.
But yeah, we'll have to go down. I can already feel like
Yeah.
we can
Yeah.
get cooking on that topic
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be good. So March 24th, got you coming on for that. And we're going to be posting kind of a list for the whole month of March coming up, probably. So tomorrow we're going to be just talking about cover songs, like favorite cover songs, least favorite cover songs, times you hate cover songs, time you love cover songs. But then March we'll kind of put out the whole schedule all at once. So that's kind of been the big thing we've been doing this year. And we've got our first show of the year is actually going to be March 22nd We're
Nice.
playing with Struggle Jennings here in Columbia.
Heck yeah.
And so that'll be a really fun one to start off the year with. And then like the next week, so that'll be a Sunday. And then the next Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're going to be doing a weekend with the Filthy Heathens.
Nice.
That's
Oh
the
yeah, you
27th,
guys are
28th, and 29th.
at Bucks. Is that on your
Yeah.
tour stop there?
Yeah, that'll be really
Yeah.
fun.
Yo, I saw
Yeah,
that
like
lineup. I was like, RIP all those venues. Like, oof.
and that'll be I think my parents are coming to the Bucks one, and I
Oh,
don't
cool.
think they've ever been. So
Nice.
that'll be fun because that's like I had a bunch of my Arkansas family move to Nebraska. So then I would always have this like migration of my family always show up to those shows, and it was always kind of like, oh hey, haven't seen you forever, and so it'll just kind of be fun. I always somehow
Yeah.
have family showing up at Bucks.
I
So
love it.
that'll be
Bucks
fun.
probably loves it too. I love Bucks. They're just one of those venues. I feel like I always go down this like maybe a little piece of my I just can't shut up about it. Is like those small venues, like arguably even that Fly Trap spot, but the ones that have like really passionate people that are doing the booking and it's not some like overwhelmed bartender.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, like the Bird's Nest. Those are just extremely passionate people.
Yeah.
Bucks. Like there's just so many other great venues. Are there any near you guys out there in Columbia, Missouri, for anybody that's not familiar with the locale of the
Yeah, anything like
Comancheros?
that. Yeah.
Are there any
I'm-
of those smaller kind of gems near you guys that you want to shout out? I always feel like I like to have a moment for the smaller venues that not even necessarily smaller, but like super
Well,
passionate.
you've
spot.
probably done all the ones that I'd say KC has,
Yeah.
several of them, like, which you've
Mhm.
probably played all the same ones we have out there. Hey,
Vince is always a really cool spot.
Yeah,
you can almost
Captain.
really say Knuckleheads is that
Oh
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's still them running that. They've just done a really good job of building it up.
Yeah, and they've got like 4 or 5 stages. It's so big. Like we've played, the small room, the medium-sized room. We've opened the big outdoor one with like the Cadillac 3,
Yeah.
and it's like anytime we ever like do a show there, it's always just Frank, and he's just like, "Hey, got your boys down for this," and it's like he's just in it, loves it. And I remember when Billy Bob Thornton played there and has a lot with his blues band whenever he plays. And then he went on Joe Rogan a couple months ago and was wearing a Knuckleheads t-shirt.
Perfect. Let's
And
go.
I saw somebody from KC post it. And so I was like, oh my gosh, cool. And so I emailed Frank and was like, dude, Billy Bob Thornton, and it was like, I thought for a second, I was like, oh, did you know? And he's like, yeah, he's got a lot, and it was like, oh, okay, yeah. You just,
Yeah.
Frank
Yeah.
just knows everybody, and it's cool. They run a really. It's a nice,
Frank just knows everybody.
yeah. But it's just like it's a nice blend of like it's very well organized, but it's not stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
They're very laid back, but everything is in its place. There's no loose ends. It's really cool. Really cool spot.
Heroes
Really
was a cool one. I always
Yeah.
liked that place.
Oh.
He's closed it.
Yeah.
What
Did you
was
ever
the
do that
place
one?
called? The Purple Lights.
Oh wow, that was
I'm talking about.
Encore, right? The one that like looked like it should have been a strip club. Is that what you're talking about?
Because it used to be a
Oh,
strip
it's
club.
like outside, but the whole district had purple lights out there. I think it was
in Columbia?
Columbia.
Oh yeah. In Columbia, there's the arcade district.
Arcade
Oh,
district.
yeah.
Were you-
Yeah.
Is that the one you played with us that was outside?
Yeah, and all with Oliver
Yeah.
Sayani.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Because that was that's
Oh
a
yeah, it's Columbia.
like an arcade, like literally just an arcade, but they have like a stage out back that they do shows.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
nice. That was a fun
Yeah.
time.
I've heard rumor that he actually built the whole thing just as a place to utilize all of his arcade games he collected.
Really?
Yeah, that's why every business there has arcade games. They're all his. It's not just like a ton of people who enjoy them. It's just like the new one just opened up, the comedy club called Tokyo Bar.
We have a comedy club in town.
We do. And it's full of pinball machines, and it's like looks like a bar in Tokyo, but they do comedy, and Those are all his pinball machines too.
That's fantastic. I cannot wait. So this is now when we're going to announce Tanner's got his new stand-up set coming out.
Yeah, at the Tokyo Club.
I've actually,
Toby and Tanner
Yeah.
making their arcade debut.
I'm just like holding him up at the microphone.
and I've just got a snare drum in the back ready to go. I've actually been trying to convince Tanner to do stand-up for like 5 years now.
One of these days I'll get
What's
around
the
to it.
hold up, Tanner? What do we need to do?
I'm too scared. I'm frightened.
It doesn't
Yeah.
sound like you. Just bring your sword. Oh, maybe.
true.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I guess there's.
Yeah.
I'm a lot more scared to talk in front of people than I am to sing and play guitar.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people that do that. Just sing and play funny songs.
That's true. Yeah, I guess I could use a guitar. I haven't really thought about that.
I mean, you could just tell one-liners and strum.
That's true.
If that wouldn't hurt,
Yeah.
What rules? I'm still banking on I can be a comedian cover band. So I'll just go tell all of like Jerry Seinfeld's jokes. And
just put a sweet melody to it.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
You play the slap bass every time you tell a joke.
What is the deal with airplane food? It'll be great.
I'm into it. I want tickets right now.
Okay. I think it'll be hilarious. I just can't tell if it would be funnier if we booked like Comancheros comedy shows, or if we just booked Comancheros shows and then was like, oh, surprise, there's no show. We're just doing comedy.
It'd be funny if it was a Comancheros and each one of us has to do like 15 minutes on stage.
Dude, if that's what it takes to get you to do comedy, I will.
Everybody else has to do it too, or I won't do it.
I will make everybody suffer through 15 minutes of my jokes to get to your 15 minutes of good jokes.
That's a very sweet thing to say.
Yeah.
Can make me cry.
John will just have one. He'll just be like, the deer is implied.
Yeah.
Then he'll just leave.
Michael would be a prop guy. Michael would come on like a tiny little.
I always figured I really loved Mitch Hedberg, how he always had the notebook, because I couldn't. Oh, is that a prop?
No.
Oh.
So there is like a guy doing Mitch Hedberg right now.
Oh my gosh!
And like everybody's really weird about.
Slow.
So he writes his own jokes, but his like physical way he looks and acts and speaks and his candor and the type of jokes he writes are 100% Mitch Hedberg. And I feel like the comedy community is really divided on whether or not it's cool or not, because it's like he's really funny, he's really good, but it's like he's
rip off.
It's like Greta Van Fleet treatment. You know what I mean? It's like, well, but all they're doing is Zeppelin, blah, blah, blah. Because technically it's like, he's writing all his own jokes just because his candor is exactly the same. I mean,
well, that's good to know that that's something I have to look forward to. Just getting crapped on for having a favorite comedian.
Kind of interesting trying to like compare it to music though, Yeah. It's like what a comedian can get away with and can't.
We should make that'll be a topic in what's after March? April's comedian shows comedy shows versus actual music shows, live music.
And can I have ChatGPT write my jokes?
Yeah.
Oh, AI and comedy? Ooh.
It's not very funny though. I'll give it that. It isn't like AI is not very funny.
Fair enough.
But what if you trained it to be? See? What are the limits? What if you say, in the style of so-and-so, write these?
Yeah. I feel like there'd have to be sort of another dynamic of how, like, when you write, like, I don't know. I'm sure it could probably do it if it got advanced enough, but just like when you think about the double layers of jokes, sometimes that make them really good. Like, I don't know if maybe AI can pull it off. I don't know. It seems like whenever I've asked it, like, funny things, it's like, it just does, like, mathematical type jokes.
Yeah.
It's like, this word sounds like this other word, so therefore it's funny at the end, but it's like something you get, like, in a joke book or something.
Or like a Laffy Taffy rapper.
Maybe comedy will save the arts. The one thing that AI just can't.
I mean, it's...
Yeah. I do think there is something to, like, rock and roll has always been subversive and pushing, and and I feel like there kind of came a point when, like, what rock and roll has been pushing for became the norm, and then rock and roll just died, because it's like now rock and roll is just like, hey, all those things that are totally normal, yeah, go do those. And it's like, well, that's not really cool. And so I feel like comedy seems to be able to shift to
Well, it can
being
always be,
subversive again.
yeah, it can always be antithetical to the norm,
Yeah.
you know, versus like a musical style is like, if that's what everybody likes, it's no longer
Yeah, when it becomes
fascinating.
mainstream, that's like the curse of mainstream, right? It's like everybody, you want to be your music to reach the masses, right? And to be relatable to so many people. And then when it is, everyone's like, oh no, we don't like it. Now everybody likes it. We don't like it anymore.
Well, you have to make a decision, I think, at some point, because I had a lot of, um, I had a lot of friends in the punk scene, and that really was a weird thing to watch in the last couple years, where it was like for 20 years I had seen these guys just be like against the government, against the government. And then there was a moment there where the government was like 100% aligned with what they wanted. And it was like a dog had caught a car, and it was like, oh, and it's like, wait a minute, are you the guy now telling me to trust the government? Like, I did not expect that. And it's like, oh, I mean, maybe, and I'm not saying that's like bad if whatever if you just, if the values align, but I think that's when a lot of them maybe realized, like, there's the being subversive for the sake of it, or
Yeah.
I'm pushing certain values. And it's like, well, those can't always be the case. Like, you'll have to
Yeah.
pick one at some point. Um, and that's an interesting it's an interesting thing to ponder then, if like folk music or country music is maybe then generally supporting the zeitgeist of whatever the mainstream is. And then and then there are probably times when that flips as well. So I don't
Yeah.
know. Just
Like the square heads in the country
you
world.
you talking about
Never trust a square head, quote unquote.
Scandinavian
Hannah
folks?
Jones.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
what?
glad that was a quote from me.
Yeah.
I was like,
I was like, oh, I wonder what she's talking about. I mean, I know what I was talking about if I said this. And then
Never trust a square head.
you can't.
got nothing against the Minnesotans or the Wisconsin.
Yeah. Can't forgive him for shooting Jesse, it's just a Missouri thing.
Yeah. I did listen to a really interesting podcast, actually. Sorry, I always get this name wrong. It's not Patrick Bet David. It's not Neil Patrick Harris.
An actor?
No, it's that Orthodox guy that Patrick David Harry. David Patrick Harry. Yeah. Man,
Jeez.
it's like literally 3 first names. It's the most impossible thing to remember.
All those names sound like the same name to me as you were saying them.
But he always does like Orthodox, like Christian stuff, or like contemporary stuff, like news and politics. And then he just did like this one-off, like top 10 lies of the Old West. And he went through like the OK Corral, and was like,
Yeah.
so he's like, okay, so the movie Tombstone is very accurate, but the OK Corral is actually very small. So that gunfight would have been happening at like 5 to 10 feet. Like, those guys would have just been like right up at each other, And also, apparently, none of them had holsters. Apparently, Wyatt Earp had by the way, I think you can tell where I'm getting to with this.
Yeah. I smelled it coming a mile away.
He had I was born in the same town as Wyatt Earp. I don't know if you knew that, but it's my claim to fame.
Somebody the other day actually hit me. He's like, "Did you know Michael was born in the same town as Wyatt Earp?" I'm like, he's like, "Michael's from Monmouth, right?" I'm like, yeah, I know.
He won't shut up about it.
I know. He moved away when he was like 6 months old or something.
Yeah, I know. But I still know Earps that were the Earps that stayed there, and they're still like, oh yeah, they moved away, but yeah. Anyway, apparently Wyatt had
Vouch for you. The Earps will vouch for Michael Cook.
that's that's a good point. I'm gonna bring that up next time Tanner gives me crap about it. Because I actually know Earps that will vouch. Okay.
Wait till I get to my tombstone story. I do have one actually.
So Wyatt had an extra canvas pocket sewed into his suit jacket so that it was like the gun could come out really easily. So what's your tombstone story?
So
Actually don't know.
Johnny Ringo's family.
Oh yeah.
And it seems far-fetched to me, but my hometown newspaper had an article up about it. So my Kirksville Daily Express claims that, sorry about that, that Johnny Ringo's family is from up around Kirksville, right? So, but Johnny Ringo headed south and turned into an outlaw. He was the do-wrong in the family, and apparently the Ringos were like a very good family, big farming, just like well-to-do folks. There's Ringo Point Cemetery, which is Johnny Ringo's family cemetery, which is where my grandpa and uncle are buried.
That's pretty sweet.
How about that, huh?
It all comes full circle.
Yeah. That's why me and Michael met.
Yeah.
He was born next to Wyatt Earp, and my grandpa was dead next to Johnny Ringo.
And when Tanner and I,
guys.
when Tanner and I first met, he walked up to me and he just said, "I'm a Huckleberry."
Yeah. That's actually pretty close to the story when he met John.
Oh,
So
literally the exact same story except the end, the tagline.
Do you think I could trouble you for one of those?
Yeah, dude.
Splashers.
not the
we are
bubblies.
we are fizzy water maxing over here. Thank you.
Mhm.
I
got so much air in my brain.
Oh my gosh, that is delicious.
I know, it doesn't feel like it should be.
That is way better than bubbly.
What
You
else
ever
is
had
on
one of
your
these, Steph?
notepad over there, Michael?
You ever had one of these?
No.
Really good. It's just a fizzy water, but it does kind of, it gives the subliminal, what is that, Starburst or Skittles font they used on it? So you kind of
subliminal Starburst.
Yeah.
So John and I were both homeschooled, and he was Burlington, Iowa. I was West Central Illinois, so we were like 20 minutes away from each other. And when you're homeschooled, you don't meet a whole lot of people, especially in the 90s. So all the homeschool families would get together like once a month and socialize a little bit. And I remember John walked up to me, and I think we were like 11. So he must have been 10. I was 11. And he walked up to me with his, military buzz cut cowboy boots.
Flat top, wasn't it? Didn't he have a flat top?
Yeah, sorry, that's what I was. Yeah, flat top.
John on the flat top.
Yeah, and he walked up to me and he said, "Do you want to see my buck knife?" And I'd like to say
Michael's like, "Get in the van."
We'll be best friends.
Yeah, actually, I'd like to say that we just like hit it off and we're best friends. We did not necessarily hit it off.
Oh, I didn't know this story.
Yeah, I mean, not like enemies, but like.
I love how he's not here to. You could say whatever you want.
Yeah, he still hasn't forgiven me for not becoming his best friend immediately.
John Folks is the bass player over here of the Comancheros. In case you're missing that little piece of dialogue.
Yeah, and
so why didn't you guys get along?
I mean, we did not get along. It was
we
like
can start a rumor if you want to.
Let's.
I can only ever remember one story from John's childhood. Somewhere that Majin Buu that he left in the urinal at school, and the kids peed on it for like 2 weeks, and then he took it out and took it home.
What?
Man, I'm trying to tie that into why.
Did you ever watch Dragon Ball Z, Steph? Well, there's this guy. He kind of looks like a. Yeah, that's not the character.
You have a perfectly well placed. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring this up. It's just this like it looks like Patrick Star basically, and is the character, but with like Indian robes on. And John left it in for like the 2 weeks that John went to a public school, but the mold was so bad he had to get pulled out. He left his Majin Buu toy in the urinal, and all the kids peed on it for 2 weeks before he took it out.
That seems normal. That's normal.
That seems
That's how you
normal.
become that's how you become a rock star, everyone.
Yeah.
Step 1.
Yeah.
Be shunned at school.
Do you know that's why John had to leave public school?
I remember the mold,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's so. But then like we would like we.
Wait, are you the kid that peed on it?
No!
Are you in this story?
I have never been to public school
Okay.
except for driver's ed. I've never been to public school. But so John and I knew each other for about 5 years, kind of off and on. And we would go, the church that we went to was like 20 minutes past where he lived. So like we would often stop by and pick him up on the way to youth group and stuff. And we went to one of those like really big churches where they had like the Xbox room where you could go to like after service, like you could go and play Xbox with the youth pastor for an hour. And John was like not, he was like 7th grade, 8th grade, so he wasn't allowed to be in the high school group yet. But he was so good, they were like, well, yeah, come on, come and play, and he would just waste everybody. And so we kind of like had kind of started running into him a little bit more. And that was when he was in his, he was in his goth phase at that time. So it was like long velvet coat. And
I love that he's not here. This is the best part of all of this.
And he, he'd have like black
not
painted.
Speak up for himself.
No, hey, this is all true. He will not deny it. He'd wear like, black painted fingernails, big black velvet coat, and then just like wasting people on Halo, And so my brother and I were.
Yeah, John was actually like just below level of pro at Halo. Yeah, he's that good actually.
Jeez. He's really good. And so we had kind of like, he was like, we'd known him for a long time, but didn't really know him super well. Not like hanging out all the time, but my brother and I have a metal band that we play in, and we got an offer to go do 2 festivals in Europe. We had like England, we played in London, and then one in Oslo, Norway. And we're like, we need somebody to go sell merch. What about that John Green fella, And it was like totally out of the blue. And I just remember calling him and just being like, hey man, do you want to go to Europe with us and sell t-shirts? And he's like, yeah, okay. And then he went and sold merch on a tour, and not the best merch guy you've ever had, but fantastic driver. So he wasn't exceptionally lucrative on the European run because that was his only job.
Yeah.
But we did a 2-week tour in 2009 with a punk band called FBS. And it was actually a really nice tour deal because they were like, hey, we get your fee. Every time we fill up our van, we'll fill up your van. So it was like, we don't make any money, but we don't get stranded somewhere, So it's kind of like, that sounds pretty good for us. It's a nice like safety net for us, but then they got to make a little extra money. So he went on that run with us, didn't do very well on the selling merch side, but like 2 days in, he was like, hey, I can drive if you need me to. And then just like literally never got out of the driver's seat the rest of the tour. And there was one time too where we played like Upper Peninsula. Is it Michigan that has the Upper Peninsula?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then like to Omaha, Nebraska. And he just like just chugged Diet Coke and popped Adderall.
He's a great driver. He's also super proud of it too. I feel like he takes such good care of your touring rigs.
Yeah.
I remember when I got the trailer from you guys, he knew exactly like every single detail about everything and filled me in on every little. He's like, about 246 miles ago, this
No, it's fantastic, and it's like it's really like I can't, you know, I feel like we're kind of poking a little bit here, but he is so good at what he does, and it's so invaluable to the
The
band.
craftsmanship
For
and
sure.
that little in
Yeah.
his fingers.
It,
Yeah.
it's like when people talk about like, so what do you need to do to start a band? It's like, you mentioned like, oh, you mentioned earlier that you thought our like social online stuff was good, and it's like, well, that's all Tanner, because Tanner was like, all right, we need to have a good online presence. So I'm going to like figure out each social media platform. And he like, I'm going to get Photoshop and I'm going to learn how to use it to it's like, that is invaluable that Tanner just like 10 years ago was like, all right, I'm just going to figure this out, and it's invaluable that like John is like, I'm going to keep the van running. We
Yeah.
did a weekend run with the Cadillac 3, and we were driving up somewhere in Nebraska, and the alternator went out, and he literally just coasted into an auto zone, and it was like we didn't really have time to change out an
Legend.
alternator, and he just like ran in, got one, changed it out. Like my brother was there, and he was like helping him, making sure, shining
A
the light,
legend.
getting and like those guys, like I tried to eat a can of fish while we were like stopped, and I had to like hurry because I was like, "Oh, they're done already. Crap." Oh, it
Yeah.
was like they
Pretty
had that
amazing.
changed out so quick, and we were just back on the road. And it's like having a mechanic in the band is like one of those things you don't think about,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, you can't really
And then you have that business brain too,
dude,
which
Michael
I think
we never would have played a show if Michael wasn't
that
Yeah.
was probably the most profound thing I remember from when I met you guys that time, and for the first time we met 6 years ago today was, like, because outwardly, and I don't mean to, like, show behind your guys' smoke and mirrors here, but, like, outwardly, you're very rock and roll. All of your imagery, you're jumping off the bars, you're literally climbing roofs. Like, you're just the epitome of rock and roll, spitting beer, like, all the things. Just a great show, great performers, very, like, high octane, um, and then as you're loading out, you're like, "Oh, this goes exactly here. We put it here every time. Here's our really important bag that has all our notes for the show. Like, here's our template thing for how we keep track of merch." And you showed me like how organized you really were, kind of behind the show. It was business, and you were the first band that I had been around that had spoke like that, thought like that, shared that, maybe as I'm sure most bands have it. They just it's behind the smoke and mirrors, I guess. But yeah, that really like flipped everything over for me to think of music and especially of rock and roll as a business. And yeah, that was like really impactful for me at the time. And then even after a few times I think I opened and you were like, um, I offered to run merch and you're like, cool, here's our merch. It was organized and all set up and like how you always do it, and it was a lot of people's merches does not run like that. And it kind of shows in in how far and how fast you get somewhere too, is how well you can keep that end of it. That's fortunately, unfortunately, I guess we could argue that all day, of just what a big part of the music industry is you got to run that business at the end of the day.
yeah, I mean, I
And
think
marketing
it's
goes into it, and keeping
yeah,
vehicles is all part of the business too.
yeah. I mean, it's like you said, it's like everybody does it, but I think it's really just like a band is a business,
Yeah.
whether you want to think about it like that or not. It's just a question of is it going to be a good business? And I think a lot of people don't want to think about it like that, and that's fine. But that will limit what you can do. It's like if you're gonna be a plumber and you're gonna be like, hey man, I just like pipes and water, man. It's just what I like to do. That's awesome. Like that's cool. But the plumber who keeps track of things is going to do better at
Yeah.
plumbing. And so we like to play shows. you know, like we like to put out records. So we, you know, I just did our taxes for last year, you know, and made sure that we had all our expenses, you know, and I was emailing our tax lady like, hey, now can I write off this if we're doing this? And, you know, making sure that we can get every single write off possible so that we
Yeah.
can not pay a cent more than we have
Woo
to.
woo.
Which I'll share the details with you offline. But you know, it's just, you know, kind of what it has to be. And I feel very thankful that my dad is a third generation self-employed carpenter, and so you know, that was just always dinner talk was like,
Yeah.
you know, well, so you know, we bid this job and, you know, but then so and so made this change, but now they don't want to pay for the change because the bid and you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
little things like that. And it's like
Just
I feel like that has
entrepreneurship.
just
Yeah.
been, yeah, and it's just like I've just always tried to think about this like this is just our construction business. And my dad has honestly just been a huge influence on like running a business and having employees and you know
And a musical influence. Like some of our best ideas have been your dad's ideas. Stuff
oh
to do musically too.
yeah, I mean like um I feel like one of the biggest things, like we learned Cowboy Song because Tanner wanted to do it. Played it like for like maybe a couple months, and like nobody seemed to like it. So we kind of ditched it. And then my dad, like a year later, was like, sent me Cowboy Song, and he's like, "Dude, why don't you guys do this song?" And I was like, "Well, you know, it's funny. We actually used to, but nobody liked it." And he's like, oh, "I think it'd go great. You should do it." And I was like, "Okay." So like Tanner, Dad said we should do Cowboy Song again. So we started to do it again, and it started to pick up a little steam. And then we wanted to test a studio out, so we are like, "All right, let's go do Cowboy Song." You know, just kind of see how
Yeah.
it goes.
Yeah.
Recording went great. We're just like, "Hey, well, let's put it out." Put it out. We happened to, you know, another thing is when I worked for Atomic for like 6 months. uh, and the only thing I made happen in my 6 months at Atomic was I got the email that said, "Hey, the Darkness is looking for support." And I was like, I mean, just immediately, I was like, "The Comancheros would love to do this." And I emailed their agent, and then he just like emailed me like 2 months later and was like, "All right, we got 7 dates for you. Please confirm ASAP." And I was like, and then
Yeah.
come to find out, which because I didn't do my homework, the guitar player from The Darkness is just like the biggest Thin Lizzy fan on the planet.
Love
So
it.
so he got like the list of bands, and he's like, "Oh, dude, these guys do do Thin Lizzy, them," and like
Yeah.
so my dad's idea ended up getting us like half the U.S. tour with The
Love
Darkness.
it.
It was just kind of a anyway. Point being, my dad's idea.
Yeah.
Sorry, long story short.
Oh, that's good. You got a lot of good ideas.
Yeah. That's what it takes is just like constant brainstorming, constant shifting and figuring outing and all that jazz.
You ever met somebody who's really good at the brainstorming thing, but then like every idea is just crap? Like that's their thing. But like, no, I'm not talking about you.
He's talking about me.
You know who I'm talking about, but it's not you. But
I don't actually, but
we'll talk about it later. But we I know a guy like that, and I'm like, dude, just stop saying them. You know, it's like rattle off like 30 ideas, but it's like that was all crap, brother, all crap.
I I feel like that is nice though when you know, like when everybody in the team knows their strong suit,
Yeah.
because like I feel like I am more of a what about this, what about that, what about this, what about that, and then Tanner's
No, your
like,
ideas are always really good. This
well,
is no way Michael, and I'm
no,
pretending it's not him.
no,
That's
but
what I'm
like,
getting at.
but you know, like I came up with heavy and western,
Mhm.
but I was not sold on it whatsoever, and I had like 15 other names that I was like, you know, because we just didn't want to use the term southern rock
Yeah.
because I feel like people's eyes glaze over when you say that, and so it was like, well, we need to come up with something else, something new, and we just started like, so I just had like this list of like 15 things, and I was like, I don't know. I was literally not excited about any of them. And Tanner was like, heavy and Western, copyright it right now. And I'm like, I don't think we need to copyright it. And he's like, copyright it right now. Thankfully, because then actually there was a moment where, actually a couple moments where that came in handy to have that copyright. But
It's the most. It's the thing that people wanted to steal from us the most. I'll say that. Of all the things that we almost get robbed of, that one is very frequent. It
Yeah.
feels.
I remember when Chris Jansen came out with his Heavy and Western tour.
Yeah.
And Trey, the Blackberry Smokes manager, like we were at practice in the morning one time, and Trey texted me and he's like, "What a dick!" And I was like, "Whoa, oh my gosh!"
Yeah, I was like, can you do that? Like,
Yeah, we were really hoping he'd just lease it from us.
yeah, we asked him if he just wanted to lease it, which would have been awesome, but
Yeah, he did not.
Dang you, Chris Jansen.
Another Missouri guy,
Really?
I believe so. Didn't he?
Interesting.
Mhm.
Interesting. Well, what else you got on your note card there, Michael? There are certainly no
Wow.
rules around here, but
So, we talked about the Struggle Jennings show we're doing on the 22nd.
Struggling Jennings.
Yep, we're gonna be struggling with Jennings. So we're doing YouTube lives every Tuesday. Filthy Heathen. So we did release a new song, Grandpa. I don't. Why
it's
did I
out
play it?
now, isn't it?
It is out. It is out. It is
Yeah, you-
currently only available on YouTube. So if you go to our YouTube channel, it is listed there.
Yeah.
So yeah, but actually I wrote the lyrics for this about my grandpa, and it's probably one of the most actually biographical songs that we've ever done. You know, there's usually a little bit of liberty. You know, we wrote Train Bridge, and it's about the train bridge by my house, like that. But I was more watching people do that. I was too young to partake. So, you know, you take those artistic liberties to get a good song. But this song meant a lot because it was actually just about my grandpa, and lived like 20 feet from the Mississippi River. And there's a lot of water skiing and boating and just, you know, raggedy old John boats, Keystone Light on sandbars and things like that. So it was a fun thing to grow up around.
Grandpa.
very nice, very nice. You can find that on YouTube only. YouTube exclusive.
Exclusive. We had to we signed a deal with Mark Zuckerberg to make sure that was exclusive.
Is he YouTubeman now?
Nah,
Okay.
I don't actually know who. We did that the other day. Went through who owns YouTube. It's Google, and who owns Google? It's the Alphabet Inc. or something. And
Yeah.
then you get past that, and you end up on the dark web.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just
It seems
left
like
it.
that would just be a slippery slope.
Yeah.
I love it. Heck yeah. New single out, guys. You can find it on YouTube. You can catch
And
them. Oh, and
I'm sorry. It's just worth mentioning the man who recorded and produced that. His name is Jack Daniels.
perfect.
Literally just his name, and it's awesome. And he is just as cool as you would think he is for having that name. So
I love it.
I'm sorry I cut you off. Please continue.
You're not cutting me off. This is your show. I am just the vehicle today. Well, you guys you can also catch the Comancheros every single Tuesday. Are you guys doing that on YouTube also? The where you go live from?
Yep,
Mhm.
we are YouTubers. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. How do you like that platform? How do you feel about like the different platforms? Is YouTube just kind of the one that you know the best, or do you just really have a loyalty, or is it kind of the back end that you like better, or none of the above?
I don't know. I think probably for us, like we consume the most YouTube. So it's like I never watch a Facebook Live. I'm not opposed to them, but it's just like
Yeah.
I've got people that I follow on YouTube, you know, that I'm subscribed to, and it's like, okay, I know Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This guy's going live at 11 a.m. every day, and so I can, circle back at 2 and watch it, and uh, so it's just like that's where we're at
Yeah.
as consumers. But we'd like to be streaming elsewhere as well.
Yeah,
But
I'm just always
it's
so
just
curious because I feel like I don't know, I kinda, like, have gripped onto TikTok here recently, but not really for any particular reason, it's just I think it's just because TikTok lets you do it easier.
yeah,
Yeah.
There's no, like, minimum subscriber, there's no get a following first before you can go live, they're just like, "Sure, you wanna try that? Go for it. Here, you have 4 followers, send it, whatever." So it's, like, not really you don't have to really do anything
that's
before you
nice.
can, like, kinda play on the platform.
Mhm.
And YouTube, I think it's, like, 500 subscribers or something like that before you can monetize and or go live, I can't remember.
Yeah, I know the whatever the live minimum is, we already had, which I was very thankful for, so we didn't have to do the like
Yeah, just run music videos,
try to
basically.
Yeah.
yeah. So I know there's like you have to have a certain amount of hours watched within the last year to get like monetized, and then there's all sorts of
Yeah.
steps in there, but it's like that's
We got some kinda like, we did that Heavy Western show thing all through COVID, so
yeah,
we
Yeah.
were kinda like those weren't live. Our internet was like 15 megabytes or something back then. Now I think it's like 2 gigs at the house here, but it's funny how much stuff I feel like the push for the internet since like how COVID was like the same necessity that was created by the Beatles not being able to be heard from their last show to like the PA was invented where Woodstock could happen like 3 or 4 years later. And it's like how much better and easier internet has gotten to use
mhm,
Yeah.
just since 2020 because of, the way it was. It's like we couldn't do anything. Like we
yeah.
tried to live stream and it would crash every time. It
It
was
was
like
horrible.
and it's like you work on it for like 6 hours. It's like I had an old dumpy computer, so it took like 4 times as long to edit.
Mhm. Yep. I think that's important. Someone said something, um, they're talking about the music industry, but I think it really I wish I could remember who it was to give them the credit right now, but it kinda changed how I thought about social media a little bit, where someone was like, "Yo, if you're gonna start a tire company in 2026, you're not gonna use technology or the way people used to do it in the 1910s or whatever, you would use 2026 technology to build your 2026 business,
Yeah,
Mhm.
tire business." So it's like, why as musicians and like, especially creative industries, why are we so
yeah,
tied to the old ways that
dude.
don't make any sense? And it's
Dude,
like,
you know CC Gray, right? Christian Gray.
yeah,
So he sorry, I like to start the story here because it's hilarious, but I was just getting out of the shower, just
Whoa.
totally wet and naked,
Oh my god.
and he texted me and he was like,
Oh,
"Hey,
wait.
do you have He's like, "Do you have a chance to talk?" And I was like, let me dry off." But yeah, and he was driving back to
FaceTime?
Alabama. Yeah,
Can you get
FaceTime.
on FaceTime real quick?
Hey. Uh, but he was driving back to Alabama and he's like, "Hey man, I've got a bunch of things like in my head. I'm driving. I just kind of need to get them out." And he was just, and I was like, "Cool." And so we chatted for like 4 hours or something crazy, and he just like in this like one phone conversation took my brain out of my head, twisted it around and dropped it back in because he was talking about like why do we have this idea that we have to do records, and I'm like, and he's like, exactly. You don't know. We just do it because that's what our heroes did in the 70s. But why did they do it in the 70s? Because it made sense to do it. Like you would put all this money into a record and you could sell it and there would be a profit. But it's like now, like everything has shifted. It's going back to singles. You basically you make your song and you essentially give it away. And that's not to be like, oh, woe is us, but it's just like that's just what it is. So like maybe we just need to take a step back and rethink like what it means to be musicians. And something I've thought about for a while is like, okay, if you're gonna be like really dedicated to like the 70s, let's say, and just be like, man, I love 70s Waylon, 80s country, you know. Okay, well, like, what if you just only ever put stuff out on vinyl and like never put anything on social media and just like you could only be found at shows? And it's like, nobody does that. Part of the reason nobody does that is because people don't go to shows to find new music, they find it online.
Right.
So it's like you have to be online to be found. And it's not a good or bad. It's just like that's just the world. So what do you do with that information?
The reality is all of our heroes marketed.
Yeah.
Some
And
of
they
them had record
marketed,
labels do it for them. Some of them were, but
yeah,
like you look back at old like Waylon video interviews, and he'll be like, he's walking into the whatever show, and before the show, someone's got a giant camcorder on their shoulder, and he's got to take this promo video, and he's like, catch me in Tulsa on March whatever.
yeah,
But someone had to drive that tape or mail it
yeah,
to the TV station in order to play it in time
yeah.
to
It,
promote the show properly. You don't
yeah,
think if he had a cell phone in his pocket, he would be making Waylon would be all over TikTok. He really believed he was good at marketing. He just told people about his music. And I don't know
yeah,
what it is about musicians that hate that,
yeah.
but it is a divided market we have out here for sure. Some people just hate social media, but it's not really social media. It's marketing. So if
Yeah.
you hate marketing,
And like,
you gotta
and that's like
that's kinda
going,
a big part of your like,
well, and going back to your business, I think that's a big change that I think a lot of people struggle with, where like in the 70s, you were a local band, maybe became regional, and then a record label stepped in and said, "Hey, um, we are going to own your soul, and you will become our product, and we will pay you for that."
yeah,
So all those newspaper ads and all of that stuff gets paid for by the record label, who's like, "Hey, we don't care if we look like you know we're running a business. You just go be an artist. That's fine. We'll take care of this stuff." Now we're more in a everybody is a small business.
yeah,
And so it's like, all right, well, my dad for his construction company did all of his own signs and newspaper ads and do those sort of things.
right.
And yeah, that's not what he'd like to do, but that's what you have to do if you're running your own small business. And so it's like, you run some ads sometimes, you make your promotional videos, you make your merchandise, is what it is.
For sure. Do you guys, do you have any folks either on social media just because 'cause we're on that topic or just in general that you feel like are doing a good job or, like, maybe not necessarily other venues, just other music industry folks that have kinda been doing things the right way that you've seen along the way?
What do you mean by right way?
Well, I guess whatever would catch your intent like, anything that you would be like,
I think
what would they do?
I think the
Maybe
Filthy Heathens are doing really good.
Yeah.
navigational beacons of, like, what would they do, because there's definitely bands like that for me where you're like, I'm kinda stuck, I don't know how to, like, come apart, and you're like, What would these guys do?" And kinda
I think the Filthy Heathens do a really good job of turning just normal mundane moments into fun little short video clips.
Yeah.
Better than maybe anybody I've seen out there doing. Like like something that it would if it was like a big artist, you could tell they like don't want to be doing it. But they just always seem to make every little situation so they at least either act like they're having such a good time that I feel like it's really fun, even though they're just like standing outside Walmart or something, a
yeah,
picture that a lot of
Yeah.
people would probably like hide, you know.
yeah.
They make it into something cool. So that'd be an example
Yeah.
for me.
Because I feel like as we're growing, it's just something where y'all just kind of I guess you don't have to learn it, but You might as well learn from people that are kind of in your lane. Because it
Yeah.
can be cringy. That's the thing about social media is everybody has access to it. So whether they're in your lane or you look like what they're doing or not, you're gonna see it. And that's why I think so many people are turned off by it. You see people doing things that don't like, and then you're like, I don't want to be a part of this at all. Instead of just being like, okay, I don't like that. I'm gonna do something completely, in my
Yeah.
direction or whatever.
It kind of eliminates that thing too that like somebody like Waylon would have had where he could act like they're just making him do it.
Yeah.
But, it's like but when it's on social media, everybody knows that you just did this.
Yeah, that's
So it's
true.
like you kinda like it's like, "Look at me." And people are like, "Oh, you just want
That's
people
a
to
good
look at you
point.
and listen to your music." And you're like, "Actually, I do. Yes, that's why I'm doing this."
Surprise.
I know. Yes.
Yeah, and it's sometimes I go back if I'm like looking for a piece of information. It's like, all right, well, we've never taken a post down on Instagram, unless it was like a show got canceled or something. It's like very few. So sometimes I'll just scroll all the way back and look at our first stuff and just be like, oh wow, this is still up there to see. But it's like, well, that's where we were at then.
Yeah.
So it's kind of its own, so to speak. But there's a comedian I've been following, and I wish I could tell you who it was, but I can't. So sorry. But he's like, he's super Catholic and he's really into anime. And so he'll do these really hilarious, which I know nothing about anime, but he'll just go into these big, long, like rants about how like characters in anime are like Catholic or something, and it's really hilarious. And he's blown up just telling these hilarious stories. And then like I started going back farther in his stuff, and like I got to the part before he became Catholic, and it was like, oh my gosh, this guy is so raunchy. And then like at some point he had a come to Jesus moment and was like, okay, I don't tell those jokes anymore, and just like totally shifted. And I was kind of impressed that he left some of that older stuff up, because he was just like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's just where I was at, and I'm sure there's songwriters out there that have songs out that are like they're
Oh
not proud
gosh.
of anymore or
For sure.
stuff, and it's like, well, I don't know whether that's good or bad. 50 years ago, you could forget about an old song, but that kind of doesn't, we don't get that these days.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. Well, guys, are there any other honorable mentions here before I let you fly the coop? Or anything you'd like to mention? Maybe circle back to those shows you have coming up, or any
Yeah.
little pieces of wisdom you would like to leave us with here at the Texas to Tennessee podcast?
March 22nd, we're going to be opening for Struggle Jennings in Columbia, Missouri. And then the 27th, March 27th, 28th, and 29th, we'll be in Kansas and Nebraska with the Filthy Eagles. So we'd love to see
Those shows are
anybody
gonna
there.
be insane.
It's going to be a good time.
I don't know,
For sure.
like, holy cow. Yeah, those are gonna be good shows right there. That's a good union for sure.
So
We should get them on here. Tell them to come, they might already have done it, maybe Soul Gravy already caught them.
Yeah. Well, we'll let them know. Circle
Yeah,
back around for sure.
tell them to come on down and talk to us over here.
Yeah. And then, of course, March 24th on Tuesday, we'll see you and Tanner duking it out over
Yes.
AI.
I know. We'll have to double check, make sure we're not on the same team first.
I know we gotta flip a coin to see what team we're on.
We'll
It's
have
gonna be
to
great.
forge through and fight no matter what. All right, bud.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining us
Yeah.
over here. Thank you to Texas to Tennessee podcast, who allows me to have a platform through them. So thank you guys for sharing the platform. They interview all kinds of independent artists, generally somewhere around usually the Americana umbrella, but kind of all over. Really just focused on giving a little bit of a platform to independent artists. And they've been
Nice.
doing it for a while. I think they're closing in on, or I think they just may have recently passed 200 shows. So
Nice.
that's not a small feat, and I'm super
Yeah.
excited to kind of be a part of the team over here and
Yeah,
to
that's awesome.
yeah allow myself to step in and share some of my homies along the way too. Because yeah, it's definitely a really cool industry, and there's can't really talk about it enough. And there's always stuff going on, always stuff to talk about, always new shows to promote, and
Sure.
new music coming out. And um, of course, we could probably tell stories for the next 7 hours of all the. I'm sure you guys could have. I was thinking about that before. I was like, we should have a tour of just like some of the coolest bands I know, and just not play any music, just only tell stories.
That'd be
Yeah,
pretty fun.
like no, don't bring your instruments. We'll just sit like what's that? What's those comedians, the redneck guys that the three of them
Oh,
that
yeah,
used
the
to
blue collar comedy tour.
we could just
Yes.
sit in a row, vibe
Man,
off
that would
each
be
other, have all
that'd be
these
cool to
intertwined stories, and just let her rip in a city near you.
yeah, we should do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
down. We'll
well,
start
you
booking
guys
it.
can catch us all. I feel like I gotta ask you there's a tradition around here at the Texas to Tennessee podcast of always the last question, so I gotta throw
Uh-oh.
it at you. All right, you
Uh-oh.
ready? Buckle up. All right. If you had to only take one Little Debbie snack with you on tour, and that's all you had, which one are you going for?
Zebra cake.
Zebra cake, classic. Tanner, what you got?
Star Crunch because it's the only food I've ever found that I'm allergic to, and it makes my lips swell up. But if I take a Benny beforehand, I'm safe. If I pop a couple bennies, I can eat as many as I want.
Star Crunch because I want to feel something.
Yeah. I want to remember what it feels like to feel, man.
That's perfect. That is perfect. I feel like also the Star Crunch you could throw in the bottom of a bag, and even if it gets all squished, it's still at
Yeah. It's
110%
born
quality.
squished, so it's like you can't squish it anymore.
Well, guys, what a pleasure. What an honor over here. Mr. Tanner Jones on that guitar, and we've got Michael Cook, aka Bobcat, over here, the drummer of the Comancheros. Missing in action, but honorable mention, Mr. John Deere Green plays bass to round out the Comancheros. So Toby was filling in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks
But
for having us.
Yeah, thank you very
yeah,
much.
of course, of course. Well, I will let you guys go. I appreciate you taking your time to sit and chat with me and do this. I love that we can do stuff like this. I love that we keep in touch. I love that we can like kind of watch each other grow, and somehow it's always where we can, help each other out and reconnect and kind of share each other's craft. So appreciate you
Yeah.
guys.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
6 years, gentlemen.
I
6
know.
years.
Crazy.
Legendary. Well, thank you again. You guys go easy on your bubble waters, and
Okay.
I'll catch you. I'll catch you on the next one. All right. You guys stay right there though. Don't hang up, you two. Alan,
Okay.
everybody else. We'll see you guys on the flip side. Thank you.